Welcome back to Life in Stride podcast. This is episode 339. On this episode, we had Daniel Michalski on the podcast. Daniel is one of the best steeplers in the U.S. He was the only American to make the steeplechase final at last year's World Championships in Tokyo, even taking the lead in the later stages of the race. Daniel has a unique story of going pro. He actually ran Division II with me. That is how I originally met him. He went to a small Division II school in Ohio, ended up joining the military after college, actually, but now trains with Ed Eyestone's group in Provo, Utah, which was really fun to hear about how Ed Eyestone trains steeplechasers, training with Connor Mans, Clayton Young, etc. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you do, please leave your review, drop a comment, share with a friend. And just a reminder, Life in Stride Track Night is coming up August 1st, starting at 7 p.m. in Louisville, Kentucky. The sign-up link is in the show notes. We're going to have options for a mile and 5K race. So hope to see you there. Enjoy the episode. When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like.
We can answer on the pod.
How many Cokes do you drink a week?
This week, I've had a lot of access to free ones, so probably like 10.
10 Cokes this week?
Oh, 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably.
How many Cokes a week does Connor Mans drink?
Not sure if he's ever had one. I got to bring that one back up. I'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, fair enough. Dude, well, Dan, I feel like it's been a long time coming for you to come on the pod, man. I'm excited. You're originally a D2 guy, but you've definitely like surpassed to the like D2 title because then you went and were successful D1. Now you're pro. So I don't know if I get to call you a D2 guy anymore.
You got to start somewhere, you know?
True. You were the national champ D2 at Cedarville, so you did win the national title in the steeple D2, right?
Sure. Yeah. Even that wasn't right away. It was my third year. So yeah, I still feel an affinity for the D2 life. I get it. I mean, anybody that's been to a small college too, or private school, or maybe under-resourced program or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Cedarville is a small school in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, but I'll tell you what, they had a real nice cross-country course, man.
We are, I mean, to this day, like I am impressed. Like I didn't know how wonderful we had it because I grew up in the area, and so I kind of took it for granted. But then once I was on the collegiate team, and had run some other courses, I'm like, oh, we really have something special there. To have a permanent dedicated cross country course across the street from campus that was maintained year round. Pretty special.
Where is
so
this?
yeah, some people really like they poured their lives into it.
Yeah, it's a Cedarville, Ohio. It's like a little bit north of Cincinnati. Is that right?
It's a good ways north of Cincinnati. It's like probably 90 minutes from Cincinnati.
Okay.
45 minutes from Columbus.
Okay, so between. Okay.
It's like it basically borders Springfield, which has made a lot of headlines lately. But
for what?
Some comments in the media about some sensitive issues.
Oh, okay. That's not this type of podcast, unfortunately, to dive into that.
Right? Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Although it can be.
No politics, bro.
We were supposed to do this podcast on Monday, but we realized the USA game was at 8 p.m. Turned out to be. I was going to say
we should have done it on
to watch it, but we should have done it because they lost 4-1. So, but hindsight's 2020. So whatever. It was a bad game. I didn't even watch it though, to be honest with you. I was running.
You didn't watch it?
Yeah, I've
No.
watched very little World Cup as well, but when I sat down in like the 75th minute of the Argentina game yesterday,
Yeah.
and then they scored 3 goals.
That's the perfect time for you to sit down.
I was like, "You're welcome. You're welcome." You will have like I love watching them play. I was like, "Wow, they're really moving the ball well." Like Messi's, ability to penetrate and drive the ball, like it creates chaos and, I'm like, "They're going to get one of these plays to work." And sure enough, boom boom boom. That was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
That was
Yeah,
crazy. I was mowing and I had it in my ears. I just had my YouTube TV on and I put it in my pocket with the screen on and I was just listening to it. I like turned it all the way up. And then I turned it on in like the 78th. It was like right before the first goal that they scored. And then I like looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they scored." And then they scored again. And then again. That was crazy.
crazy, dude. I think Argentina wouldn't be in the tournament if they didn't have Messi. So
For
yeah,
sure.
I don't think they're gonna win. But anyway,
they
Scotty, we doing rapids with Big Dan, with the other Big Dan.
Oh, did you write them for me?
Oh yeah, dude. I can do them if you want, though. I know you don't like, doing rapids that I wrote. So if you want me to do them, I do them.
Let
They're
me
pretty
look
dialed.
over them. Let me look over them.
You're gonna look over them? Okay, we can look over
Dan, you got
them.
chickens, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll use that. All right, Chris, give me 3 minutes. Ask this man one question, and then I'll just dial in. Hold on, I'm gonna tweak these a bit.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask since we were talking about Cedarville. So you ended up going to IU to finish out college. How, like, I'm curious going from like a small D2 to like a major D1. Was there like a massive difference in like how you were treated, gear, like all that kind of like facilities? Obviously, was there like a massive difference for you?
Yeah. I felt that it was kind of commensurate with the level,
Yeah.
basically. But yeah, I was very aware that I was stepping into a university and a program with kind of all the access I could need.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the indoor track there was great, and
Yeah.
the cross country course was under construction while I was there, without whatever. Um, and I love the outdoor facility. I wish I got to race a home meet there. I didn't get to, actually.
Really? Huh.
But yeah, I mean, just the travel accommodations and gear accommodations were great, and the fact that I got to go to the national meets in each of the 3 seasons I had there was
Yeah.
special too. And um, extra per diem for those trips was nice. They didn't like back up a truck like some other programs did, maxing out and bending rules. And of course, it's pre-COVID, so pre NIL and all that. But I had a
Yeah.
great experience when it came to like the athletic side of things. I was treated really well. And um,
What was
the
your
coach I had there, Ron Helmer, he's since passed away, but
Yeah.
he's a Hall of Famer, and I learned a lot from him. And just the year that I got to spend there on the team. And then I did end up following up with a few months of training back integrated with them and Andy Bayer at the beginning of 2020. I was living back in Indianapolis. Um, but Yeah, I feel like a Hoosier. I didn't watch Indiana football until like the postseasons this last year, but they gave me such a wild, long postseason ride to enjoy and feel like I was a part of things. Even though I'm not like a super diehard football fan, it was really fun.
Did you
Just rub that into my friends too.
were you there at the same time at all with Skylar Stidham by chance?
Yeah, I know Skylar. Yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay.
he was I guess he was a redshirt freshman. I guess my 5th year.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude is a
just
character.
barely overlapped. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Skylar. I'm happy to see the progression he's had. I wondered, honestly, there were times where I wondered if he would make it, like a lot of guys. Like, does this program really fit like your skill set, like how they do
Yeah.
things here? And are you gonna figure it out? Are you gonna really become a true 10K guy? And it's been really fun to see his growth over the last couple of years now, stepping up in distance and really embracing double threshold. And I've
Yeah.
seen him at some meets and road races too. it's cool to see, a connection like that just like really flourish.
Yeah, it seems like I think my understanding was Helmer was like pretty aggressive with the training for sure. You guys were like working out pretty hard, but then I'm blanking on his name, but the guy from like NAU that is now coaching at IU, he has like implemented more of like a double threshold setup there, which is like I guess lower risk than it because I'd heard from others that maybe Helmer, like some people didn't thrive in that because they got like burnt out, I guess, from like working out very hard. Do you think that's like a fair thing to say?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's always tough when there's like such a well, I'll make a couple comments on that. Yes, I agree, and I'm seeing it the same way that like Eric Hines has a different philosophy.
Yeah.
Um, and I experienced um with our training, with how hard we did strides, and as often as we did them, and the type of workouts that we did, like I never felt that I was more than a few weeks away or a couple of workouts away from like a mile PB, even
Nice.
in September.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like fun to feel that kind of range of fitness and always kind of on top of speed. Um, and I felt that that worked for me, and I saw a ton of improvement over my 1 year there. But I can see how that doesn't work for everybody. And then the other thing is, it's just hard to put your time in and come in as a youngster and maybe not be ready for all of that. If you're
Yeah.
18, 19, trying to run with some big dogs in their 20s and who have already kind of put their time in and run the miles to be able to handle it, and then like navigate the coach athlete relationship. If you think you're in a box or written off or whatever, and you're afraid of your coach or whatever,
Yeah.
like that's a dance that you have to play, and that's not unique to IU. But I observed that from some of my teammates there, and I even had some times myself where I wasn't sure about my relationship with coach, but I was grateful for the relationship I ended up having. And the last time I got to see Coach Helmer in person, like he gave me a hug and stuff, and that was special to me. And
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Legend. Yeah. I'm curious, like speaking of NCAA, so the NCAA just announced that essentially like the max age you can compete in NCAA is 24 now, which might affect the team that you are working out around, right? And a little bit. No, not calling anyone out, but I'm curious. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's good or bad for the sport
um,
for NCAA sport at least?
well,
Yeah.
let me qualify whatever I say with this. Time is going to tell, and it's going to take some time for it to all flesh out.
Yeah.
And there's already lawsuits being thrown right now, like to try to extend people who just finished their 4th year of eligibility to ask for that 5th full year of eligibility.
Hmm.
Um, and then as it pertains to BYU, they have already declared that that their 2-year, religious service mission is
Exempt.
exempt from that. Yeah, from
Oh,
that
okay.
uh confinement. So they still can have actually 7 years, I guess. Um,
Wow.
but it's not even going to fully come into effect for I think 5 years from this July. And previous signees, even if you sign before this July, I think they can. I don't know how it all works, but it's crazy.
Sounds really
Yeah.
complicated.
It's
Gosh.
crazy. I mean, I mean, and I think that there's still like there could be some 26-year-old freshman foreigners um that are incoming this fall that can still stay for 5 years. Yeah, something like that. It's pretty
Because their
hairy
grandfathered
still,
in or
and
something. They've already signed.
yeah. So I think that um it's a move to try to tighten the reins back in or whatever, shorten the leash back up that got a little too loose.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna take so much time for it to kind of
Flush
quell
out.
that
Yeah.
that it's pretty it's just unsettled. It's so unsettled, and it's going to continue to be and continue to be debated, and I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes in other sports, but
Yeah.
as you guys well know, and as I well know, it makes a huge difference in track. So
Yes.
The question
Guys.
is, can those like 26-year-old foreign freshmen transfer to a school? And like, is one school going to try and scoop them all up? You know what I mean? Just while strike while the
man.
iron's hot, right? While they're in the
Iowa
sport.
State.
Yeah. Iowa State.
I don't know, man.
I mean, wouldn't
don't know.
you? You got to play by the rules on the field, and if those are eligible athletes, like they're the most developed in the division, like you would guess a lot of
Somebody's
a
going to
hot
get really
commodity.
good at falsifying birth certificates.
A little NIL might be involved in the cross country world now.
Yeah, I mean, it already is. It is. Yeah. There's a few elements that like really opened up the floodgates that were like post COVID drop of academic standards when it came to the standardized tests for entering universities, and I think even the NCAA portal or not portal, what do they call it? The something center, recruitment center or something like. Gosh, I'm so out of touch.
Yeah.
To be eligible to be an NCAA athlete, those hoops got a lot broader.
Yeah, for sure.
And then too, they opened up some of the funding for supporting international athletes to travel overseas to come and visit and to go home in between seasons and so forth, and that was a big incentive for a lot of foreign athletes too.
I didn't know that.
That used to be barred a lot narrower. I think you weren't allowed to even buy a flight at all. If they wanted to come on a visit, they had to get themselves there.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that. Anyways,
it's a lot.
I'm glad it's not really my problem right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah. But anyway, before we talk about your pro career, so post college stuff, let's Scotty, you ready for Rapids, bro?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, let's hit them.
We brought Rapids back, Dan. So like maybe sorry or maybe you'll enjoy this, but whatever. Here it is. These are some questions for you, really not running related, just to break the ice, but the ice is already broken because you're a G. First about chickens. How many chickens do you have?
13.
What's your worst favorite part about having chickens?
Worst favorite.
Least.
A recent funny story is that they murdered a couple of rats that were trying to snipe their food while they weren't looking, and so
No way.
I had to dispose of what was left of some rat carcasses. So sometimes it involves some undertaking of other animals' part.
Dude,
I fed them a snake too, and they ate it.
Dude, my mom has chickens.
Or did they?
Yeah,
claw
dude, my
it?
mom has chickens. They eat anything. They're like a pig, basically. But they will be picky with random things, like random fruits and vegetables they won't eat, but they'll eat most stuff.
Yeah. So this isn't very rapid fire. I can talk chickens all day, man. It's fun. I just got into it a couple years ago.
What kind of chickens are they?
Egg-laying ones.
Well-fed, well-laying ones. Yeah. Barred Rocks, Rhode Island Reds, and gold ones. I forget what the gold ones are called.
Golden
at the moment.
Deluxe.
Sure.
What's the worst running shoe you've ever worn?
Ooh, I had a pair of the one that you think's a different shoe. That's the worst. I bought like a pair of Adidas Adios that I thought was like it was like their first Boost ones, and so I thought it was because it was a marathon shoe that it would be pretty robust. Because at that time, I just didn't know anything. And then I just absolutely destroyed my calves doing like a 17-mile long run in a pair of Adios. So I guess the shoe that's wrong for the job. But I also had a pair of like absolute bricks that I got from a discount store, some New Balance that were like a stability model. I think it was 880s, but
dude, I had a pair of
even
880s.
cheaper.
Those things are trash.
Yeah, and no like slights New Balance because I think they fit my foot fine, but But yeah, I just like asked a lot out of that shoe. And that was at a time where I thought I could just wear anything. I thought, oh, well, I'm a mid-foot strike guy, so I can just wear whatever I want. And because it was $25 on a discount rack, I thought, oh, great. And then, take it out 15 miles at a time and it sucked.
Yeah, it's brutal.
If you got arrested and your best friend found out, what would he assume you did?
Many people know this, not just my best friend, that it would probably be for indecent exposure for like having to go to the bathroom on a run
Oh, okay.
in an emergency situation.
My family was literally talking about this at dinner tonight about me, that they were going to find me in jail for that, and they weren't going to bail me out. I was like, I got plenty of people that would bail me out for it. I don't appreciate that, guys. So that's the same answer for me. What's your
Good,
coffee
good.
order?
Coffee order?
Yeah.
I make it myself usually, but probably I don't know, man. I'm like, I guess like it depends on the mood, but I like a cortado, I like a dirty chai, I like an americano, I like
Dirty
a
chai.
pour over, I like a French press. I'm Yeah, it just depends. But yeah, I mean, in the morning, I'm usually just banging out on the Nespresso machine just to get something in quick that's decent quality. Rotate through their brand and the Starbucks brand ones.
I think
Dude.
Nespresso is awesome. I love Nespresso.
Yeah,
good.
it's just nice. I was using so much time making my own espresso that and I was not very good at it, so you know, it's worth the like $1 more per serving to save the time, and it's good quality.
Respect. How many Cokes have you had today?
This is my first Coke. I had a Dr. Pepper like 10 minutes before it though.
All right.
New, yeah.
You have to make yourself a new first name. What would it be? Give yourself a new first name.
Oh, probably Stan.
Stan?
Just
Wait, like
because,
Stanley, short Stan?
well, or just Daniel. I don't know. I mean,
Daniel.
like, I'd be able to.
Oh yeah, dude.
I could still like respond to it. It wouldn't be too hard of a transition. Just like
Yeah.
going from Dan to Dad, like really natural for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just the one letter change. Yeah.
Favorite place you've traveled? Top of Dome.
Same at Switzerland.
Ooh, nice.
That's not the first time we've heard that.
Yeah,
One
I've heard
last
that
meal. What would it be?
Steak with pancho queijo, or like the Brazilian cheese balls, and I don't know, just more meat and carbs too. Like some potatoes with it too. I don't know what I did to have, to deserve my last meal, but yeah, I mean, we make that meal all the time. So
Oh, that's dialed. What's your favorite movie of all time? First one that you can think of. Just a good movie.
Braveheart is one that I've said many times. I need to watch it again.
Ooh, you
'cause
should
it's been
watch it
too long.
in July.
Great, I will.
Yeah, book it. Why did you name your dog Buddy?
Because he kept coming to that nickname while we were trying to come up with a name, and then he had adopted that name before we really committed to it, so we just made it a capital B.
Dude, that's like the most
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
thing
Castle, dude.
ever. You like
Yeah,
don't
you
have a
know.
name. You don't have a name for the dog, and they like live with you for a couple weeks. Like, could you imagine if that was a kid? Like the nurse in the hospital was like, "What's the name for the birth certificate?" You're like, we don't have one yet. We're gonna figure it out. Actually, people might do that.
I'm not aware of any modern cases, but in like pioneer American times, colonial American times, like that was pretty common to not name a baby until like they showed that they could make it.
Yeah.
That they
yeah.
like that they like until a
that's
year
dark.
or something.
That's
I
really
know. I
dark.
remember learning that in some venue. I don't remember if it was on TV or in a class, but yeah, like think like Dust Bowl era. We're not going to name him Hank until he's proven that he's a Hank.
Dude, I really like the name Staniel.
I do
That's
too.
so cool.
I'm gonna have to put one in the back pocket. We're thinking of baby names right now, so Staniel, top of the list.
Staniel. I wanted to name my son's middle name, my last son, Wolf, WLFE, and Alex was like, absolutely not. Turns out that probably would have been dumb, but what's your favorite podcast?
Let's run track talk. Come
All
on.
right,
Really?
try that again.
Nice.
What's your favorite podcast? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. If you had to paint your master bedroom a primary color, what color of the primary colors are you choosing?
Probably blue. Yeah.
It's like blue, true blue, BYU blue.
My first thought was like a dark blue, frankly, because I prefer a cave-like dwelling for sleeping. We'll sleep in our basement. The last couple houses we've had, we sleep in our basement. Like in a proper bedroom, of course, but like for for uh yeah, lots of sunlight in the summers, and like when I'm trying to get naps, like it helps to make it easier to make it dark and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. 2 more questions. Second to last question. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Churro. If
Oh,
it's got
really? I've
some
never had
chunks
that.
in it too. One time there was a churro one on sale, and I got like 6 tubs of it, and my wife hated me.
Dude,
Why did you get 6 tubs?
the thing about
I'm
buying
like, it
6
was on
tubs of
sale. They didn't have the one that you know, specifically sent me to the store to get. So I got 6 tubs of churros.
Dude, the thing about buying that much ice cream, like sometimes, like when my wife goes, she buys like 1 or 2 pints. When I go, I buy like 4. And the thing is, you eat 1 to 2 pints the same amount of time as 4 to 5. Like it's all gone in like 2 days, no matter how much you buy. You know, you're gonna fill the void. Last question, and then we can get back to running. Maybe. Do you know how to give a good haircut?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I cut my own hair most of the time, and
Nice.
my son's, and I cut a lot of my college teammates' hair,
Oh,
especially at Cedarville. Like I would always tell them, hey, you know, first one's free, and then you know, $5 or $10 after that if you need me to take care of you. But yeah, I enjoy doing that. I mean, and now I'm in the Air Force, like I especially have to keep my hair cut. So save a lot of money not paying somebody to do it.
Yeah, yeah, true. That's a good transition. I was gonna ask, did you join the Air Force like right when you graduated IU?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I finished at IU in 2019, and I did not join the Air Force until 2023.
Okay. So what'd you do
Yeah,
after you
so
graduated, like running wise and stuff?
uh um I called everybody.
Yeah.
I called all the coaches and some agents and like people that work for brands, and just like tried to learn the scene and what was out there. Um and for a guy who needed something stable because he had just gotten married, um the come on out, we'll give you shoes and coaching, and you can stay in the house or on the couch with a bunch of dudes, like could quite do that. Um but yeah, I ended up um working a bunch of odd jobs, honestly.
Yeah.
For like the first semester of me being married and kind of out of the collegiate system, um and then we moved back up to Indiana from Florida, and I tried to reintegrate at IU a few times a week on workout days. And then when COVID happened, my more white collar job in Indianapolis slowed down. So I went and got a job at Walmart, and
Nice.
was doing the online orders fulfillment, bringing them out to people's cars and sorting them in the in the back. Um, and then found out we were gonna be having a baby, and that's when I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get a big boy job, like gotta get benefits.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I reached out to my network and ended up finding a job in coaching at Laterno University in East Texas, a D3 Christian college.
Cool.
And I started that, fall of 2020, and did 2 full years there.
Huh.
When I was in my first fall there, Nick Willis reached out to me on behalf of Tracksmith, and they're developing amateur support program for for the upcoming Olympic trials, saying, "Hey man, like you need to get a coach and get training. Like your mark that's good for the trials from 2019 is given an extra year with the delayed games." So I took that to heart and got running, got a coach, and started getting a lot better. Um,
Nice.
in my first steeple that season, I broke the Drake Relays meet record, and then the second race of that season in the steeple, I met the Olympic standard in a close second place at a big meet or whatever. And then with an agent that I had talked to for a while through this whole time, had some leverage to try to get a contract, which manifested eventually with Nike, basically the week of the Olympic trials. And then, I almost made the team. I ended up fourth, less than or like about a half second off of the team. And then even then, like one of those guys could have maybe had a positive COVID test and they would need to call in a sub or something. I was like not wishing that on them, but like
Right.
trying to be ready. They ended up doing that for the pole vault. I'm not sure if any other track events, but um yeah, then a whole another year passed, and I was, I considered myself a favorite for the team the next year. I was feeling sharp on top of my skills, had a great prelim where I dug and like just walked down Evan Jaeger in the semifinal, and I was
Sick.
feeling myself. And then midway in the final, I hit a barrier and did like a somersault. Like I tucked and rolled pretty quick and popped up okay, but like it was still an adrenaline swing that by the time it came to the bell lap, I just had nothing to go with, and really faded hard. So I was well aware that if I didn't PB or make the team, that I was not gonna have my Nike contract like rolled over into a like a base salary, um, and with any duration of note either. So
Yeah.
that's when I reevaluated, and we were about to have my son, our second kid, and was looking for something stable. And I didn't feel like doing it with a traditional job or even a work from home deal. Like I just didn't want to keep trying to figure that out. So yeah, I researched the WCAP program and ended up finding a really good fit with that. It took some time to sort it all out, but yeah, the next winter I went off to basic training, and um, yeah, it's been the right move for me. Like 2023, I bounced back quicker than I thought I would, and then 2024 was a really tough year. Um, I was like having good markers in training, but then like I didn't even make the Olympic trial final. But that ended up being a kind of a blessing in disguise too, because it made me the guy to go help pace James Corrigan to the Olympic standard and help him get to the games,
Yeah.
which started really the relationship that has manifested in me being able to come out to Utah and progress so much over the last year or so, including, a trip to the world championships and finally having made a US global championship team and, um, yeah, make some real breakthroughs up against the clock too, and feel far better supported and balanced with
Yeah.
my home life, and like I'm not just playing myself or anybody that that I'm a real contender and here to stay, and got I've got upside that has manifested and is not just in my mind.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, Zuhair also did like the W cap, Zuhair Talbi, and he told us like, I mean, you can't run a basic training, right? So when you went to basic training, you just like, I don't know how long it is, but you had to take like an extended period of time off of running, right?
Yeah, how I can't speak to his experience, but mine was 8.5 weeks of the initial training, and I didn't get to run really at all. Not a single workout. I got to do 3 PT tests, which for the Air Force at the time is a mile and a half. And so I would just like give it all I had and then stay on the track, jogging and supporting people as long as the test was still going on, basically. uh, but it was just really embarrassing though, because like to me, I had just run a 63-minute half marathon like right before I left, and then I could barely run that pace for a mile and a half. Like it was
Yeah.
450 pace ish. Dodging people, like I would start and just bust it for a lap and have a one clean lap, but then there's 200 other guys on the track at the same time, and I'm just like hit stick, body, Heisman, all of this to try to get through for the next 5 laps.
What is
But
what does like WCAP entail? So like you graduate basic training, and then are you like doing stuff actively for the Air Force every year, or is your full-time job to essentially like represent the Air Force as a pro athlete now?
By the way, it stands
uh,
for World Class Athlete Program, which I
Yes.
didn't even
yeah,
know was a thing. That's cool.
I didn't.
yeah. So yeah, there's some key differences between the Army and Air Force's uh ways of doing things. But yeah, for me, um and for anybody trying to get into the Air Force's program, they evaluate it on an Olympic cycle at a time, and you have to be, fully eligible to serve. And you do have to pick a job specialty and complete the initial training for that job specialty, which could be another 10 weeks to 2 years, depending on how complicated you want to get with it.
Look at
Oh
this
yeah,
guy.
there we go. That's me.
That's the WCAP website, bro. You're featured on
Oh
there.
man. Yeah. Well, cool. Um, so yeah, you guys can
I low key want to
consume
watch that
that
video
in your
now.
well, let's watch it later. I mean, I'm
I'm
sure you can't. I mean,
We'll watch it after.
but yeah. So I've also been to like an 11.5 week job school for aircraft maintenance in hydraulics systems.
Cool.
So I have like an apprenticeship in that, but I don't have day-to-day experience working on aircraft. I don't have to report to base um, like on a weekly or even monthly basis necessarily. I am accountable to a leadership structure that's based in San Antonio, and then while I was in Colorado, and then now while I'm in Utah, like I can utilize the nearest base for like any support I need, anything I have to do that's official. Um, and then under the current administration, we've also had an uptick in uniform inspections. So
Oh yeah. I
staying
heard
looking
about that.
sharp. The various official uniforms that we have, uh, quarterly, being evaluated, and then we still have to be evaluated on our and up to date with a lot of like computer trainings and um just standards of readiness that if push came to shove that we're ready to go, ready to be kind of activated, if you will.
Hmm.
um and then follow all kinds of protocols with our travel and um reporting and requesting and funds and stuff. It's still pretty thorough. But I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be, a full-time professional athlete that represents the US Air Force. Um, yeah, it's cool.
That's sick. What's
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
do you still have to do PT tests?
I do, yeah, annually. Yeah.
So do you just like absolutely clean up in those? Like what's a PT test? Like what do you have to do?
Um, I like the standard was mile and a half run, Sit-ups max in a minute, push-ups max in a minute. The run is actually after the sit-ups and push-ups. But there's alternatives. So I happened to show up on a day where they weren't offering like the full regular one. When I needed to get it in at a certain date back in the fall, I drove an hour and a half up to the Air Force Base north of Salt Lake City, and um, they were doing a modified one. So I did like hand release push-ups and a different type of setup, and I did like a beep test in a
nice.
gym. So like it was right before I left for the World Championships, I think. And so like I was actually kind of concerned about the beep test. Like, is this gonna like, or like once I knew that that was what they were doing, but it wasn't until I showed up. So like, oh shoot, and I had just done a big like steeple specific workout that morning. Um, so I kind of like tried to round off my turns a lot and not like cut too hard on the end lines of the basketball court. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're reasonably fit, it's no trouble. It's checking a box, but you still want to do excellent work, and if anybody should be really fit, it's our world-class athletes. So so I still made sure I scored really well. I think I still got a perfect score, but that was kind of funny that I ended up showing up on a modified day.
What's
Yeah.
a beep test for those of us who
Oh,
don't
man.
know?
You've never done a beep
Oh,
test?
it's
I was
yeah, I mean,
homeschooled, Danny.
you go 20 meters. Is it 20 meters or 30 meters? Whatever it is. You just go back and forth and you have to keep up with a audible beep that speeds up gradually. So,
Yeah.
So it's
you
like doing
have
suicides with tempo like that
But
gets
it's
faster.
yeah,
it
it
speeds up
eventually
every
it
beat.
just gets faster and faster until like and then like the last one you successfully complete is your score.
That sounds really
Yeah.
fun.
So every time
Yeah, it's commonly used with like soccer teams because that's maybe a little more like the type of fitness that is required.
Yeah, interesting.
you
So-
have to cross the line before it beeps, and then that's go for the next one, right? Or does it beep again? It might beep again.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Nice. When you were in Colorado, you trained with like Paul Cholimo's group, didn't you?
No,
Oh, you did not.
actually zero.
Zero. Okay.
Not at all. Yeah, I never ran with them once. That's funny that you assumed so. There have been Air Force WCAP people in the distant past that have integrated with the Army WCAP in running,
Okay.
but that hasn't been a thing for over 10 years, I think, at least.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or yeah, definitely actually more, I think. There was a guy, I think he ran in Beijing for the refugee team, and then he came to America and got his citizenship, joined the Air Force, and then was under the WCAP banner and trained with that group for the next cycle, but didn't have much success or whatever, the same level of success.
Yeah.
And he's like a dentist. He's a dentist in the Air Force now. Isn't that funny?
That's fine.
I had called his clinic actually to just go in for a routine exam, and he called me back and wanted to talk running and stuff. I'm like, no way. My dentist was Olympic marathoner. That's so sick.
That's so sick.
That's sick. Huh?
But yeah, I never trained with those guys. I'm friendly with Bernard the most, really.
Yeah.
Bernard and Anthony Rodich and Hillary Bohr, the steeplechase specialists, those guys I've raced the most and am friendly with. But yeah, I never integrated with them. I was coached by Mark Mish out of UC Colorado Springs for 3 years. While I was in Texas, and then as I transitioned to Colorado Springs, and then for a year by Alan Culpepper, a little less than a year by Alan Culpepper.
Very cool.
The last bit of my time in Colorado Springs, and then my buddy that backfilled my job in Texas helped me leg across the time from Alan to Ed Eyestone, so he coached me for like 5 months.
Nice.
And with him, it was fun to kind of have a collaboration because we've come from the same stock. And are kind of peers and learning at the same time what things are like. And yeah, that was cool. And he helped me to run like a season's best debut or career best debut and like a 5K road PB um, before
Nice.
even getting to Provo. So yeah, he's got chops too. But
I wanted to, you mentioned Ed Eyestone. I want to talk about your current training setup. There's a photo on Instagram of, I guess, the team Run Elite program, right? And it's
Mhm.
you skateboarding. So I'm curious, are you a nasty skateboarder? Because you look like you're pretty good at it in the photo.
yeah, I that's
Look at
not
that.
my board. Yeah, that I was just messing around that day. We had just gotten back from Tokyo and I got that kimono thing, or it's not called a kimono, it's whatever it's called. Sorry. Um, I got
Copyright.
that native wear while I was there, and I threw it in my car as a joke to like show up to the long run. And then one of the girls on our team, McKenna Myler, she had a couple of boards in her trunk, because she and her husband and her kids skate. And so I
Really?
jumped on a skateboard and then like this is probably a bad idea. But I like yeah, I did like one trick and put it back and like that's kind of what I do. I have like one trick that I can still reliably do and it's a primo flip. It's where you turn the board up on its side and then you do basically like a 360 flip that and then you land on top of the deck. So you're
Wow.
standing on like the side of the board and the wheels, and then
Yeah, yeah. It's like an old Rodney Mullen, like the guy who used to do all this stuff on the side of
yeah,
the
like
board.
standing, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just a standstill trick.
Dude, I've got a heel flip in the bag of tricks. I can still dude, it was my friend got his skateboard out in his garage and we're in our 30s. Like we probably shouldn't be doing this. And I first try landed a heel flip. It was like a top 2 athletic achievement of my life. And
That's
then
cool.
put the board away.
Yeah, just I mean the risk reward is it's so
Yeah.
unfavorable.
Skateboarding is
So yeah,
risky.
I did it for these kids at the park in my neighborhood a couple weeks ago in a pair of UFOs and I got 2 feet on the deck, but I kind of landed on the tail of it. So I didn't totally eat it. Um, but I proved that I had some sort of legitimacy to these kids that were into skating. Yeah, so I was into it when I was like in 6th grade.
This is a
Yeah, that
Fremont
right there.
flip.
Well, I
Pretty
didn't land it
impressive.
back in primo. I just landed it on the deck.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Oh,
still
not.
impressive.
Yeah,
dude,
okay. So yeah,
that's
those
the
guys are
one
next
trick you
level.
can do that's really impressive.
Well, yeah, I just put it all the way back to where it's upright. But
Yeah.
um, ironically, I got best at it when I was in a boot. I had a I forget which time. I had a stressy and
Stressy.
and in our dorm, like the walls were so close together, I could just kind of like put my hands between the walls or like a door frame. And like when you're wearing a boot, like your foot is invincible. Like you can't sprain your ankle or anything. Um,
You can break your hip, but
sure, I
you
guess
can't break your foot.
I was willing to sacrifice the hip, but I got pretty consistent at it, and I like I even like took some videos of me doing it while I'm doing it. Like it was dumb. Uh, but yeah, that's my one trick. I think skating's cool, and I'll get a board again eventually. But I got rid of my last board, paying the kid to help me work on my car, so I don't have any right now.
So now that you're in Utah, like what has Eyestone been doing with you and like training that you've never done before? Like those, is there anything new going on that he's done that you haven't done elsewhere?
Um, I mean, it's not a huge emphasis for me as a steeplechaser, especially in season, but doing designated pickups and long runs has been
Hmm.
newer to me because everybody's done a progressive long run or whatever, gotten carried away and done a little
Yeah.
exclamation point on the end.
Yeah.
But but yeah, like even something more modest, like doing 12 miles, pretty upbeat with the marathon guys, and then going and changing shoes, and then doing like a 2 mile in 9:30, and then a mile to cool down. Like, but I haven't actually done that much this season. There's been a number of times where I like kind of wish I could have, but it just didn't feel very good, or was kind of out of system with the guys, and that's okay. Um, the kind of signature bread and butter that's um yeah, for like steeple specific is a workout where we pretty well simulate what it takes to race well, and that's a 1200 and an 800 and two sets, where we run the odd laps of the 1200 over hurdles, and then on the middle lap we pick it up and run flat. And then for the 800, we start with a flat lap and we close over a hurdle lap. So sometimes we'll also do that with water, but maybe just like the second set or just like the bell laps of the second set or something like that. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, to get a couple guys out there, two, three, four guys out there doing it, and it's always at and faster than race pace, basically.
Oh,
Um, or like I'm pretty close, and like you just can't fake a 1200, especially the second set. Like,
yeah.
it's nice to get into it on that first one, but the second set, there's no faking it. Like, you got to be tough and fit to handle. So for instance, maybe we'll go like 66 and then a 64 and then a 66 again for the first 1200, like as a goal. And maybe there's some decimal points on there, or maybe it ends up being more even, or maybe heck, we even like, because the flat lap feels so weird, sometimes it's hard to press and pull down 2 seconds. It's almost more natural to like negative split, even though you're over hurdles again,
Yeah.
on the final lap. And that is often what happens, but um, it's a pretty good, like, dense kind of crucible workout, to find out if you're actually fit and to like simulate the skills that it takes to be a good steeplechaser. And it's only 4K of that density, but we'll usually start with like a little bit of tempo up front, sometimes even do a little bit of tempo afterwards. Um, but it's so much fun. It's really so much fun. And that's kind of like that's something that we would do like every few weeks, maybe like every fourth workout, maybe every fifth workout, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, we did one even bigger than it a couple weeks ago. We did mile 12.8 two times through, and the
Oh,
first, how did we do it? We did it with just like bell laps over hurdles, but it
okay.
but it was pretty aggressive. I think our first set we just ran flat the whole first set, and then the second set we just did bell laps over hurdles. Um, but like really tried to slam them home, and it was so much fun.
Hmm.
Dude,
Um,
so I mean, you've had like good success already with the group. Like you were the only American in the World Champs final last year, right, in Tokyo, and you notoriously made like a pretty hard move going for glory to win the race, like with what 800 to go. Is that right? Uh,
yeah, I mean, even earlier. Yeah, what's your question? I mean,
oh, so I guess like my question is like maybe let's like stop at that race there. Like what was going through your mind like at that race, and then we can talk about like I guess like the success, but overall success. But like yeah, like what was going through your head in that moment at the race? Like were you going for the win?
uh, I that's yeah, it's funny. I just told this story to somebody yesterday, so it's kind of like fresh though, like to plunge into the depths of detail. But yeah, with as every lap ticks by, you're like, holy crap, it's still slow. The pace is still slow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Um, and so once we got, when we get to 1200, I'm like, okay, is somebody gonna try to do a 4.5 lap pull? Okay, we get to 1600. All right, is somebody gonna do a 3.5 lap pull? And then I'm like, all right, we're 2K into this thing. somebody's going to make a move any second now. I need to be ready. And if I just get a real good, clean pop out of a barrier, and if I gain a step, like I don't care where it is between now and the finish line, I'm just going to follow that. If I get any daylight, any good gap, any good step, and it just so happened to be the very next barrier that I caught a good one and I gained a step on the guy, and I just decided to pop out into the front and take it. And so it was like, 940 meters out. Um, so I just go. I just like, all right, well, I'm going like, 60-second pace here or so. From way too far out probably.
Yeah, that
But
is far out.
but
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be chaotic. Like I was
Yeah.
feeling, everybody's there. These guys are really big. Like I've never been on such a big start line, height and weight. Like a lot of big, strong guys. I
Bacali's
was
huge.
really
Yeah.
impressed. And so like just it requires more space. Now, yeah, there's a lot of experience on represented in that field too, but if they're in bad position or somebody takes one hurdle bad, like it can take some real key players out, and maybe it's some carnage, and maybe we get a different result.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be caught up in that or victim to that, so I was trying to, just make a big crazy move, and not I didn't want to get caught the way I did, but it was pretty electric. Gurma came and got me right at the bell, and then and like he charged so fast past me that like I didn't even have a chance to give him an elbow or anything. But once El Bakali came, I was just thinking like how he is such an aggressive racer and also like
Yeah.
gets right on guys and kind of bodies them, especially on the corners, in and out of the water pit. And so as he was coming by me on the backstretch, I'm like, I'm like giving him a little ribbon.
Did you?
And he's going faster than me. There's nothing I can really do here, but it's a physical race and whatever. And then Mura, the Japanese guy, comes up and like is starting to pass me and get into bronze position at like 200 to go. And it is just such a wall of sound that I'm so disoriented that I'm about to physically crap myself. Like I can't hear, like I can't sense my own breathing. I can't like sense my feet hitting the ground. Like um throughout, you guys know, like throughout running experience, like you can always hear your breath, even if it's a pretty loud venue, or you can always hear like your foot strike. But it was totally disorienting. And like concussive. It was so loud, especially because the Japanese guy was coming right
Yeah,
into
coming. Yeah.
a metal position at that time. Um, I didn't have a very good water, and then like I was pretty gassed, and guys were flying past, and
Yeah.
it was electric to see George Beamish sneak steal the win and finally get a different result after 5 years of El Bikali being at the top.
I forgot George Beamish won. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. So yeah, I'm proud of like making an impact on that race, and yeah, I don't regret the move. And one of the things I thought also while I was just out there leading was, all right, well, they're just gonna say I'm making a Kenneth Brooks move, because
Yeah.
because he went inside
he
the
went.
last 800 and
Yeah.
dang near pulled it off. Like
He did. Yeah.
he was still leading with 200 meters to go, and fought so hard for silver. Um,
Yeah.
that I cried watching Kenneth do that in Paris. So
I'm sure,
so
dude.
inspired and grateful to get to train with him and kind of know what it takes a little bit more to battle it out with these guys in a world level final.
Dude, from Cedarville, Ohio to leading a world champ steeplechase final in Tokyo. Absolutely crazy stuff.
It was so fun, man. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly, like looking at these World Cup games. Like, yeah, well, I've gotten to compete in a stadium with that many people too.
That is
It's
a
pretty
crazy thing
electric.
to think about.
There's like
Yeah.
70,000 people in there making it rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a memory I won't forget. And my former coach, Mark Mish, was there. He was coaching another athlete in another event, and he reminded me or gave me the advice like, "Hey, before you get off the track, take time to just look around and
Yeah.
like appreciate the opportunity and the story and all the sacrifice from others and I guess myself too, maybe uh, to get to that point." And that was like that was a pretty magic feeling.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't
I stayed out
imagine.
on the track like as long as the medalists. It was so funny. Like, I mean, they eventually took a victory lap without me, but I was out there a while. I wanted to just soak it in. I just thought it was so cool, and um, yeah, what an electric experience.
I can't
Electric.
imagine how deafening that is because like the finish of the Boston Marathon is like 4, 5 people deep, like all the way down, and it feels like a arena, and that's like
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even near the amount of people of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you were in that final and you like made that early move, did you like talk through that with your coach before, or is that just like a game time decision yourself, or had you thought about this?
Um, Though I don't remember specifically what Ed would have said, but he's pretty much always like a strong last third of a race guy. Um, I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's talking to a cross country athlete or a marathoner or a steepler.
Yeah.
Um, uh, that yeah, and then especially in the steeplechase, like that's just how it plays out. Like
Yeah.
no matter what happens in the first or second K, like it's still always a big finish and a lot changes. And the last K, especially, like there's 3 water jumps, and so if you can really execute across 3 water jumps, you can really move up on a field.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
You can.
I think he would have said something to that effect, but and he was the one who made me pretty aware of how El Bakali kind of pinches and bodies people.
Mm.
And so when I knew he was coming, I was like, I'm not letting him do it to me. But he beat me to the pole anyways, so it was whatever.
Yeah, right. So now, like, you've made a world champs final. We have 2027 coming up with a world champs and then Olympic year in the US. And now, like, you know what it takes to make a world champs final and be leading in the later stages of it. So, I guess what's the goal for the next couple years? Are you thinking medal? Or are you thinking a certain time? Like, what's like the big objective for you in the next Olympic cycle?
Well, I mean, it's all kind of humbling to touch grass and or whatever to get real. Like
Yeah.
I've only run the sixth fastest time by an American this season.
Yeah.
Um, there's guys that are ascending and getting really good. There's guys that are improving their consistency, that are finally having their breakthroughs. And I felt like I had mine last year after 4 years of not having a PR. Um, so like I'm not taking it for granted as far as like the US scene goes. Like there's gonna be some guys ready to run. Um, come, 3 weeks from now in New York City. Um, but I'm kind of glad it's gonna be hot there because
Yeah.
hopefully that'll make it a little bit slower of a race and I like my chances charging hard in the last bit. But
Yeah. I agree.
yeah, I mean when it comes to like the longer roadmap, like it's cool to have charted that territory now and to know what it takes and appreciate it and like have some international experience and credential. And it has had like manifest benefits for sure. Um and as well as just like been super validating to me personally and for like the previous 4 years of struggling financially and emotionally and relationally with the sport, with my wife, with my in-laws, with my everybody just like, are you sure you should be doing this or
Yeah.
whatever. That I mean that doubt kind of can creep in for sure. Like maybe I should just go finish up my Air Force service and get on with life. Um but yeah, I'm so grateful. I pinch myself that it's all kind of come true and in no small part to or to needing to thank like Kenneth Rooks for pacing me at the Bahamas NACAC championships
Yeah.
because with the qualification to Tokyo, it required either the time standard or the top whatever in the world rank. And I was within that window in a pretty safe spot. And then like a couple meets happened, and all of a sudden all the time standard spots were filled. Or
Mhm.
like basically all the time standard spots were filled and my rank spot wasn't gonna hold. So I needed to go and get the time.
Yep.
And Kenner traveled to the Bahamas with me when he didn't necessarily need to, um, and took me all the way to the bell, bang on pace. I just had to stay on my feet to execute the time chase and, ran a huge PB, get to win the race, get all the extra bonus points for it being an area championship. And like that mark is going to stay on my world athletics profile for a while and is seriously helping my world rank right now.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, like maintaining some performances has to happen to hold my world rank up pretty high because unfortunately, although I was ninth in the final, because the race was slow, both in the semi and in the final in Tokyo, those marks didn't help my world rank at all.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, you have to play this game where your 3 marks that are, your 3 marks within the qualifying window, um, are what, composite to make your world rank. And that game is hard and you have to be able to get in the diamond leagues, which I haven't yet, and that's a little bit frustrating. But I'll get to keep playing that game and try to get over to Europe again next year. And hopefully, have another chance to make a team next year. And yeah, it's all weird. And I'm just trying to take it a bit at a time. And although we don't have a global team to try to qualify for this summer,
Yeah.
I'm trying to approach it the same way. Like, let's go get a podium finish. Let's go for the win. And
Yeah. You
um,
says, yeah.
and there are like um, there are some real incentives to that. Just maintaining that kind of standard of excellence, and then there's some rewards for it too, for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot USA's is at in New York City this year. That's pretty cool. I always
yeah,
assume it's going to be in Oregon, so that's a nice change.
yeah, it was a surprise. It was announced pretty late, but
It was. Yeah.
it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else for Dan boys before we let him go?
You're the
Before we let him-
man, Dan.
Yeah, dude, you're our favorite steepler by far, even more than Evan Jager.
Oh, Sab. Evan's a great guy. He's been really kind to me. I've looked up to him a lot over my career and studied his film and
Yeah.
and the opportunities I've had to race him and chat with him even on some cool downs. Like he's always been really generous.
We had a meeting with Nomeo, and I guess I knew that he was working with them, but I didn't think he'd be on the call. And then
Oh
like
yeah.
we hopped on the call, and it was like Evan Jakers joining the call, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. And he was on the call, but yeah, that was funny. So we got to talk to him for a bit, which was cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, cool that he's working for Nomeo and living in Sweden. His wife is Swedish, so shout out to
Right.
Evan Jager.
Yeah,
Cool
he's a
stuff.
good guy.
But anyway,
Hot
you
take:
guys don't.
Swedish fish are pretty good.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Shout out to Sweden for that. Yeah. Respect. Yeah, shout out to Sweden for Zlatan Ibrahimovic too. He's a great commentator. So
I know.
shout-
I love his takes. He's so
he's so
like
good.
he's so emotional
Zlatan.
about it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it great. Yeah, he's
Yes.
really gives his emotion to it. The accent. He always looks good. Yeah, so he's the best, man. But anyway, we'll wrap there, boys. Life in Stride Pod, episode 330 something. We'll catch you on the next one. Dan, thanks for coming on. You're a regular now. I hate to tell you, but you're a regular on this podcast now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Have me back. Have me back. Thanks, fellas.
I will.
Next
Yeah,
time we'll
have you back.
banter about chickens for at least 5 more minutes.
Yeah, we got it.
We'll hit it. But all right. Catch you on the next one. Peace.